Okay, rulers, settle down. Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons. Special thanks to guest lecturer member Vite Ramen. Thank you for your support. Class is in session. Talking the intro, we'll do it. Hey there, everybody. This is GMO73 bringing you guys the stream of the top 8 here for the Top Cut Finals for the Carta Magica GP. Do just want to say thank you all so much for being a watcher here. We're going to jump in with our top 8 of Neo playing Feasting Moonstart versus Minha playing a Violent list. Going to be some fun here. It's kind of the expected matchup of the tournament. We're looking forward to it. If you like what we do and want to consider supporting us here on the channel, you can click that join button down below to also get access to things like the chat for today and perks and all kinds of other cool stuff, and we appreciate it. Other than that, we hope you enjoy the stream today, and we're going to jump over to our players. So here I come, guys. I'm right over here, making sure you guys are in the right spots. On the left, we have Neo. I have, look at this. I even make it look fancy. You get featsing on your side of the screen, too. So are you guys ready to go? Higher, I believe Min is the higher seed. So Min gets to choose whether to go first. Min is going to choose to go second. You guys can go ahead and, just for the sake of it, I'll let you guys go ahead and resolve up through doing mulligans, and then we'll start the 60-minute timer. And for those of you who are... So we're going to let these guys resolve their mulligans here before we get them started. And yeah, should be a good day. Looking forward to it. Min is choosing to go second, which is certainly what the Violet deck wants to be able to do. Yep, so we're going to get through resolving mulligans here, and then we're going to start their time for a top 8. We've already had 2 people advance to top 4. Victoria is advanced to top 4, as well as Cal has advanced to top 4. So it is going to be an interesting go. We'll see how it goes. Let me know who you think is going to take it here. Both players playing a very interesting list. Some interesting tech spice from both of them. Finishing up the mulligans here. Okay. Okay, you guys both ready to go? Sweet. You guys have 60 minutes on the round. Welcome to top 8. You may begin. Okay, so here we go. We're getting started here. First turn, Bradstone from just a pass from Neo. Not completely unexpected. Don't really want to pop off too aggressively when Violet has the coin in case there's something like an Aegis. Using Violet, no response to the effect of Violet. Probably to see an Ethereal Wind, I imagine, gets discarded here. Yep. So that we can recover the stone. Get another, it's a free potential. We're going to try a heart-to-heart. Let's see if that's going to get resolved. So the thing about Neo's list is he only plays 2 Welsers. So imagine we potentially see Melfi into a number 13. Yeah, okay, we're going to definitely see one of those number 13 come down here. Gets that canceled. And then a pass from Min. Okay. So seeing as we only have 2 Welsers in the list, we also do have some discard. We're trying to figure out who we're going to just call stone with. I think calling stone with Moonshard is the right play. We do have that black getting some aggressive swing, which makes sense here. There's no reason to play other cards until you can at least guarantee that damage. Going down to 38, and every little damage against Minha is important, or against Violet is important. It is a little bit of a race against the clock, and then a pass. Calling stone with Violet. Adam Stone. Probably would have wanted to see the 6/8 stone there. It is Paul. It is 3 Feasting Mood Starts, 4 Violets, and a Wolfgang in the top cut today. One of the Feasting Mood Starts, just a Violet just conceded to a Feasting Mood Start for Cal to go to top 4. And Wolfgang just conceded to Victoria, who was also on Violet, to go to top 4. So top 4 is currently 1 Feasting Mood Start, 1 Violet. And then we have 2 other Feasting Mood versus Violet matchups in the top 8. So big show coming down here, starting to set that up. Just the one big show. Okay. Playing the big show again here in the upkeep. Certainly some of these decks are playing some very interesting tech choices. I know that the Roman Stark from Germany was on Wolfgang. So a little bit of a slow start for Min. Don't have, I mean, a 6 Sage Stone for Min this next turn could be pretty, I mean, he's got so many cards in hand. I know that Min has been talking about flipping proactively a lot more. And it's certainly something that, yeah, he's about to go to a lot more. Flipping proactively as Violet is like the thing that Feasting Moonshard has the least amount of interaction against. You literally have to have exactly Flames of the Outer World before anything happens, and like that is pretty rough. I also don't think that Neo is playing a copy of Flames of the Outer World on his main board, so that's a pretty safe flip for him. Let me double check his deck list here. Yeah, we are not playing a single copy of Flames of the Outer World in the main deck. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Minha just decided to flip out Aegis to pop the Lycion. Yep. A 6 Sage Stone would be pretty huge here. And feasting for Void Will. Yeah, oh, we're not. Yep, this is what I thought. We're going to go for a Judge. Eight cards currently in hand. Yeah, this is going to be the thing that not having any access to any Flames of the Outer World in the main board is going to be real rough in this situation. Violet just gets a lot of value here. So yeah, we get. You choose what Violet is. You choose what Violet. No. You hold on. Stop. Pause, man. You choose what Violet gets on resolution of Violet's effect. Correct. You choose the You choose what Violet is gaining at the resolution of Violet's effect. So right now, yeah. So it's just discard. And then. So click. I don't have anything else. I just wanted to clarify that for you. Yep. So now we're trying to see if what happens to this Brave Force. Yeah, this is the. Yeah, we're. We're verifying what abilities Violet can get here. So now she's getting +6 in barrier and swiftness. So she now has plus. So she is a, she's at 1610 because of the +2/+2. Yep. Everfrost will get to draw a card. Yep, draw a card. Get another +2/+2, I imagine. Go up to 18. Yep, 18. This is what we call the Violet maths, and is one of the biggest, I think, weaknesses of the Thief Moosh deck in the Violet matchup, as we've seen a lot more people pivot towards using Violet's Flip a lot more proactively. Yeah. Oh, do we have something in the yard that can possibly hit the graveyard here? I don't see anything in the graveyard necessarily that stops this. He doesn't have anything in the main deck that can hit the graveyard because the Institute's not out yet. The only thing is maybe we use Prisia to get... I can see maybe the idea of using Prisia to... using the Prisia that's been cast twice to get a Sigurd to get an Institute to tap to RFG the yard. Like, that's a playline that we could see here from Neo. That feels pretty suboptimal because right now... Yep. We're trying to cycle a little bit here. We still have access to coin, which is a little bit nuts. We're starting to... Heart-to-heart talks to resolve. We do have another Atom because we have access to being able to banish the Firestone. That counts as an Atom for a Baja. So we might see Violet Flip plus Baja the same turn. Yeah, this is the one moment where you can try to stop the Baja play, I think, because he's trying to go to combat. And we don't have any blue for Min. If we had blue, we'd be significantly in a better spot, regardless of the Institute. Yep. Yep. This is going to get us the... Like I said, it's going to get us Sigurd. It's going to get us Institute, which is going to let us RFG the yard. Oh, we're going for more Prisias. I mean, that makes sense. Why not? If we can survive this turn from Min, we can push back for lethal. Trying to find all of our Prisias here. How many are in hand? That's the question. Yep. Sigurd's going to get us Institute. Also makes these Prisias very large, and we don't have flying yet. We need to get flying, but we can get it by just discarding a single card. But there's a world where I don't know how we, as Min, still play through to the Baja, but Min might just not care about the Baja. He might just be trying to bait out the Neo play line here and saying, like, you know what, it's going to be pushed through for lethal regardless, especially based on how many potential Brave Forces he has in hand, because right now I believe the Violet is swinging for at least 18, if not 20. Oh, Schrodinger. Oh. I absolutely... What is happening? This was not the line that I thought we were going to see at all. Okay. So we don't have a Dark Prominence in hand. Because if we'd had a Dark Prominence, then I think we just win. Because we killed the Prisia in response to this Schrodinger effect, and we just flicker it out. Black Witch. To draw a card. So now we're tapped out. We don't have a way to interact with Minha's graveyard. If we have a... Currently... 22 coming out for Violet. Are we, with a bunch of cards left in hand? Maybe we were saving the Prominence for the blocker, but like we have a Never End, so like that feels pretty mediocre. We need Gradius. That'll do it. Yeah, so this is... Yeah. So now, even if he does the Never End triggers, the Gradius is still going to kill the Sigurd. Yep. Yep. This is a little bit of a misplay, I think, from Neo's perspective. I think I would have certainly gone for... First off, I think, like... Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and pause. Hello. No, you're good. That's what I'm here for. Just clarifying how Gradius works versus Eternal. So how many Brave Force? Yep. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be lethal. Because we still can play Baja after this. Yep, that's another 8. Going up to 32. So up to 32 damage right now. $30 or 32. Get up to 1,000. Oh no. Oh, he does have an addition to target. Oh man, the Sigurd, the Institute being there is really, or the Sigurd, because because we got that Schrodinger, we have an addition to be able to hit with the Aegis. Otherwise, we would have to hit our own Violet. So this is pretty important. Hold on one second. we're just gonna something's going on in Neo's room, but we can still see his hands. Someone is so we're still here trying to resolve this situation. So just give us a moment, and we'll start. I gotta restart the timer. And at that point in time, pops the edition. Yep, so we're just going to discard our whole hand and get up to 40. For lethal. That'll be lethal. So now we go into game 2. Yeah, so like I said, the violent maths to just very quickly flip Violet if they don't have an interaction is kind of one of the things for this matchup that has proven in Violet's favor. Going into the sideboard here, yeah. Oh, I also want to let you guys know you have 45 minutes left on the round. So going into game 2, let's looking at the Neos. I want to look at Neo's list real quick. Almerius most likely comes in. I can't imagine we're not going to see feasting Almerius to come in. Just to shore up and have a little bit more life total. Potentially the more Lumia's coming back in as well. Probably the more the two Welsters from the sideboard. Definitely the Satan from the sideboard comes in. Maybe Duet of Light for some additional life gain. I think that's some things that we're going to take out is we probably don't want Spirit of Magic anymore. The Silmeria is not really going to do as much work here. And the Dispelling Stone also probably going to come off. Yeah. So the idea for shuffle sideboarding is this idea of like your opponent doesn't quite know necessarily how many cards you're swapping in and out. It's a personal preference choice. I think it's certainly better to do this more in person than online, but it is the way that you can do it. It can be tricky though to think of like, okay, I need exactly 15 cards. So yeah, there we go. Let me look at Minha's list as well. I can pull up his list. Real quick for us here. Looking at Minha's list in the sideboard. I think we might see the Exorcist Mages come in. Potentially another Gradius comes in probably. Maybe second Healing Robot. Memories of Disappearance potentially, but that's only because... But we're not playing any Battle Comes to an End on Neo's side, so that seems doubtful. Necronomicon barriers might also come into play from the sideboard, as well as potentially the Academy Guard. He does have one Academy Guard. So yeah, the Violet players today certainly pivoted to this tournament. Yep. So yeah, I think that Min is probably still more favored here, even post side. Um, Neo does not have a lot uh in terms of what he can sideboard in. It's more of cutting the chaff and maybe being better prepared for the Violet flip. We do have some Dark Alice's Smiles in the main board, but there's just not a ton to be able to deal with it. The Schrodinger flip felt really, really strange. Ultimately, it didn't really matter to do the Insta 2 play either. Actually, we would have been in better shape if we had done the Institute play. If we had done the Institute play, we actually would have been in a lot better shape, although we would have probably lost the Institute because of the Aegis. So that doesn't necessarily matter. Because Min had the Aegis, it doesn't necessarily matter, because you can, even if your abilities are removed, because the Institute will still grant you the buff, so you can potentially have that Sacred survive from the Violet. But then again, if I'm in Min in that position, I kind of let the Violet die, leave with the 1 will. So there's a lot of potentials here. So we have Neo's going to go second here as they jump into game 2. So Min definitely on the advantage here, having won game 1. But we'll see if Neo, starting with Almerius, can give him the life total. It certainly makes the Violet flip a little bit less threatening. Being able to have the extra 3 grand life, it means Violet flipping has to do a lot more work. But it does mean there's a potential for Min to just, like in that situation, right? Min could have just also just played Bahamut the same turn. Yep, so there's the Almerius as we expected. Coming in to get that extra 3,000 life. And let's see what we have first turn. So we do lose a card in hand, we do lose some filtering, but we have a little bit of a buffer room against the Minha list. This is actually one of the situations where Min's list could actually benefit, because he is playing Ouroboros. He is playing Ouroboros and a Resistance, just a single copy of each, but if that man resolves it, like, if he finds a moment to resolve that, the 5,000 life means nothing. So we'll have to see what comes out of that. Let's see here. Just a Callstone Pass. Callstone with Almerius trigger. We get some floating. So now Neil gets to kind of go off a little bit here by floating some Void if he wants. Get some Void. Yep. So now we can play the Melfi and kind of go off. Again, we're in a little bit of a position where, like, we still have the opportunity for an Aegis, but based on opening hand, you kind of just push forward anyway, because you can generate a lot of value here. We don't want to waste that Void from the... We still have green to be able to Welser. He's just going to pass. Interesting call there. Yeah, Violet's going to get to start cycling here. Yep, get to start generating that hand advantage. So Neo's threatening cancel here. We do have blue there finally for Min. So there's a world. This man is. He's trying to heart to heart. We're gonna probably see a cancel here. If it resolves, like Min's in real good shape. It's a little bit of a bait. A second heart to. 6 cards currently in hand. Heart to heart gets to resolve. Wow. I'm very surprised that heart to heart resolved. Yeah. Whoa, and he discards Death Scythe. Yeah. Big show before draw. Oh. Will be before draw on Neo's turn for double green. Hold on. Hold please. Hold please. You need to draw a card off of Melfi before that big show result, before you can cast that big show. Yep. So just that's the top card was the first card you drew. So that's that one. So that's in your hand. Yep. And then now you can resolve big show. Thank you. Resolution of Melfi is also drawing a card. You can't interrupt mid thing. Yeah, Min has 7 cards in hand. Going through the stages here. We've done 2 big shows. Yep. Recovering Almarius. Interesting choice. Yep. We have a look. Lycion is good. Lycion is good. So we got rid of the Lycion in response to the... Do we have anything else? Yeah. So we does. Yes, we do have the Turbulences. Barely any atoms in that hand. Necronomicon Barrier, 2 Turbulence, Ouroboros. Awakening of 0. Last Secret Sword to finish that burn damage out like we thought. And then an Eternal Wind. So not a lot of atoms in that hand. Choosing to hit the Necro Barrier is interesting choice there. Doesn't, I mean, not surprising, but Min doesn't have an access to Darkness Will, so that feels like that would be the last card you want to grab. You're kind of free to do whatever you want this turn. Oh, we're using the Almarius to take another 400 damage. Down to 36. Yeah, we're just going to burn him for a grand. Down to 6,000. Yep. Interesting choice there for Min. I would have thought that we would have just maybe played Atomic Bahamut for just 500 damage and saved the Atom, but... Oh, we do have... But we know that Min's hand is pretty lackluster in terms of atoms. Using the blue for the heart-to-heart is a little bit weird there. I would have thought that we would have used the red-white so that we could get a tiny violet to at least get some of our atoms back. I think that was a little bit of a misplay in terms of how we were playing that card. Oh, okay. So we can still use the 6 Ages Stone for it. Maybe try to gain some life. Yep. Hand value advantage there. Min's at a very awkward position. Staring at the cancel deck, so we can't really go for the Ouroboros playline. Doesn't really get him much value there. You can try, though. Because if it goes through, it feels real good. We're just going to pass. Going to see some big shows to get up to 3. We do know that we have another Atomic Turbulence in hand. The question is how many atoms. We need to get to 2 atoms to potentially be able to board wipe. And we also still have to play through any potential cancels or like last lectures or stuff like that. Up to 4 big shows. It's starting to look more and more like this is going to be a bit of a grind game. Both cards with 6 cards in hand. Move to recovery here. We are also at a point now where like feasting judgment is certainly a thing. Down to 34. The Lumias are also potential here. I don't hate the idea. What are we discarding here? Ooh, getting the blocker out of the way, but also just gets us another Atom Engrave. Let's see what we got. So like an Atomic Turbulence has a lot of work to try to get through there right now. This is a great way for him to be able to... This is before recovery. Healing Robot? Healing Robot? Yep. Gets all those cards back into the yard. This is just an excellent way for him to be able to make use of the Death Scythe more and more and more and more. And you can leave the heart-to-heart, when at least one heart-to-heart talk in the RFG. You might as well leave both, though. It generates so much value over the course of the game. It would be weird if this gets canceled. I mean, it's life gain, but and it is value generation. It's like you want to cancel it, but also you don't because of what it is. Oh, it's gonna resolve. Oh, he's taking. So we're gonna gain 32 life. So 6,600. 7 cards. 6,200 goes to 6,200. One of them had the pump from the Almerius, so it's 400 and then 200. Yep. So we're up to 6,000 to 62 here. And now we've just generated a bunch more violet discards for free off of the Death Scythe. The Death Scythe coming back in those clutchy ways. We've seen it before as some really silly ways to mess with the yard, but it's very, very cool to see it implemented this way in the violet list. We're going to throw another 1,000 damage. Just an atomic turbulence for just 1,000 damage. I do have here that Kieran beat Steven Holsheiser to advance to top 8. So another violet. So we've got 2 violets and a Feeth Mooge in top cut. It's the question of whether or not it's going to be 3 violets and a Feeth Mooge or 2 and 2. It's going to resolve. It goes down to 5,000. I imagine that means we probably have a Lumia in the hand of Neo, potentially. Or Neo just not have cancels, or... This is... Ooh, last lecture, interesting choice. You need to recover a ruler, Neo. That's part of the resolution of last lecture. Yeah, this is the moment I think that's the right play to try to pop off. The big risk here becomes if we have access to another atomic turbulence. We're letting the Sigurd resolve, so atomic turbulence no longer matters. I think that's a little bit of a misplay. If he goes for the Schrodinger play here, then that's the problem. And he targets the... He plays Institute, so why are we not grabbing Institute? That's the part that confuses me the most. Well, we do not... Okay, we do not have another atomic turbulence. What other? We're having an. Huh. So Min's gonna have one will open. Can't play through the never end at that point. Potentially has gradients. So he's got one will and a Spirit of Magic coming down. One will opened and Violet activation. Why did we not? And this is why I think that Turbulence play was real rough. Wow, because this is just lethal on board. Seven. 28, 30, 45, 53. I mean, that's lethal on board. It's lethal represented on board. So I think we're going to go into a game 3 here. Using those turbulences did not feel like it was the right call to just throw 1,000 damage at face. And also playing the Bahamut, knowing that it was going to get canceled, also felt like not the right decision. Because now all we have is a potential turbulence that's going to get canceled. Like, it's very weird. So he has to discard a card. He applies a -4 to... Yeah, Ouroboros goes away. It's very weird that we even played a card before we're just swinging in for lethal. And we're calling for a stone. Okay. Yeah, 44. I mean, it's more than enough for lethal. Why would you even play a card? You should just push for damage. Yeah. Like, the only thing I can think of is 5,400. Like a White Garden, maybe. Playing a Suya for 1. Why are we going for Institute? Please just swing out first. Not sure. Like, it's better for you to just... Okay. Yeah, it's... Yeah, we're a little too late there, Min, I think. Sack a 6-stage stone. Everyone has +6/+6. I mean, and that's... Six. So yeah, 15. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, all we have access to is... Because of the Eternal, we don't really have anything here. Down to 27. Yeah, get the Institute. Yep. Down to 13. Yeah, so now we're gonna go into game 3. That felt like quite a few misplays from Min. Like expecting the cancel. But Mid does have the advantage here going into game 3, and the fact that he gets to choose to go second, which is what he likes. But he still has to play through that 7,000 life point total. Just to let you guys know, you have just under 16 minutes left on round. I'm gonna step away for just 1 second while the guys are sideboarding. So headed into game 3 here. I think, again, probably Min is a little bit favored here, provided we don't misplay. Using those turbulences that proactively felt very strange, other than to, like, I guess the idea being to get yourself down to Bahamut range, but still felt very strange. So, Min only mulliganing 1 card. Pretty strong opener. So here we go. Neo still need to do a little bit of mulligans. Yep. Ataractia's Memoria there. Oh, just past turn there. Okay, interesting. Didn't try. Okay. Do we have a heart-to-heart from Min? We're going to use Violet Effect first to get an Ethereal into RFG. I think it's better to, if you have the Ethereal into, to go ahead and get it out, get to the graveyard. Yep, just to make sure that, like, you don't miss an Atom on turn 1. It's just the better play. So now we're going to try to do Heart's Heart. Yep, heart to heart talk here. It's going to resolve. So now Min's in a very good position to set up value for the rest of the game. Big show before draw. No Melfi play before draw. So we got one heart to heart talk for Neo. And then it's just a pass. The problem is here with the custom pass is that it just sets up Min for being able to just generate even more value, right? So you're clearly setting up for cancels, but Min can just be like, okay, well then I'll just wait. I mean, this man has 8 cards in his hands after recovery. Just so much damage, and like Min isn't playing. The thing that is kind of interesting for Min in this particular situation is that Min is not playing any copies of Magical Loveliness, I don't believe. Let me check his list real quick. He is playing a grand total of 0 copies of Magical Loveliness, which does make 7,000 life a lot harder to get through. It's very strange to me that we didn't play the Magical Loveliness. Yep. Now that being said, we do have Tiny Violets, so if you have Brave Forces and Eternal Winds in hand, we can still just kick you for that much damage. Getting rid of the Awakening of 0, so we're certainly not flipping this turn. Oh, oh yeah. Burning Coin. Just to confirm, your burning will coin to do that. Okay, thank you. He had floating red. He had floating red that he yeah, he had the floating red. So we're trying to judgment here. There's no way we get flames because we don't have seal 3. So there is a moment where like this is just lethal. It comes down to how many Eternal Wind do we have, how many Tiny Violet do we have, how many Brave Force do we have. Okay, so we have a 14 Violet right now. Now a 16 Violet because the Brave Force is going to be 8. So I'm going to track some math here on my side of the board. So we're swinging in for 16 as Violet here. If we have Tiny Violets and Eternal Winds, this is pretty good. Okay, black. 16. Just gonna take 16. Okay. Seeing if we can somehow... We certainly aren't killing him this turn. Yeah, down to 54. Okay. But no... Okay, this is also very strange for me. I would think that we don't have enough we don't have enough big shows. We don't have the will right now to be able to combo off this turn, but like Min certainly opened the door for being able to, like, we literally just have discard in hand and what atoms we can discard for triggers. Flames of the Outer World is suddenly on live right now, although I don't think you use it. I think you just wait until Min tries to discard stuff, and then he flames. But real interesting position here. Yeah, Min has plenty of cards in hand, but no real way to use them outside of just puffing up Violet. So if if they're not an atom, they're not going to do much. Just seems very strange to me that we would have flipped this early without some kind of follow-up. So we'll have to see what's going on here. What the play is for this idea. So you have 6 minutes left on round. Maybe the thought is like get him down below life totals and win in time. Certainly. Four cards. Very interesting. Like, so if I'm Neo in this position, I honestly consider we just pass turn. I think we just pass. And like wait and see what he's gonna do. He's like we at work like we have Lumia to be able to gain back life potentially. Obviously, Min wants to keep cards in hand, so we're probably not going to see a Turbulence come down, which means our cancels are a lot more viable. Violet still has used a lot of its pressure already. Min can't really draw any more cards. At least, like, cycle as much. This would definitely position where I would just pass. And set up for if Min doesn't pop off, then I just combo and kill him in the reverse. Like I saw before, Min didn't have anything. Proactive Prisia. Okay. A proactive Prisia. Please don't go for the Schrodinger line. If there's a Dark Prominence in hand, you're going to feel real bad. Or Min, don't mess up this line. Because if he grabs the Schrodinger and we just have Dark Prominence in hand, like, that's game. Oh, he's just going to go straight for Institute. Okay, that's the smart play. That's the smart play. Go straight for the Institute, put the pressure on board. It means that, we get Marius back. Everything's +6/+6. So this is nice because we're getting around the Atomic Turbulence. Everything has a +6/+6 bonus. So each of those Prisies is 13, and Sigurd himself is 14. So like that's lethal represented. This is the right play line for Neo. If he was gonna be that proactive about it. It was really risky though, because if there was a Dark Prominence, or an Aegis, he's in a real bad shape. Because that's especially since Min can just get flying. So how are we getting there? 2 minutes left on the round. What is the black for? Black and red. Why would we not get flying first? Blocks with the Sigurd. Sigurd's an 8/8. Sorry, 14/14. We did have the Dark Prominence. We're trying to figure out what we're trying to give to Violet. I think we give Barrier. Oh, we're draining. Okay. So we're swinging for 10. We're just letting that damage go through. Go back up to 5,000. We don't have a Bahamut, though. We don't have 5 unique atoms. Yeah, 4 uniques. So we don't even have any simple skills on the Bahamut. That seems real weird that we're even trying to play Bahamut when we don't have the 5. We have black floating for Necronomicon Barrier. But we just flip Feasting and cancel it. Right? Like the world here is you flip Feasting and cancel the Baja, because Necronomicon Barrier doesn't stop us. Yeah, exactly. Cancels the Baja. So even a Necronomicon Barrier doesn't help us here. Crackback is 14, 16, 16, or 13, 13, 12, or 11. So 26, 37 damage. Oh, time on round, guys. It was actually, so Neo, you are turn 0. So we're in time on round here. Min does have the ability to gain a bunch of life, potentially. Neo needs to do as much damage as possible. He needs to... If he flips Violet... No. With the... He has 3 uniques here, so they're just getting +6/+6. He needs damage. Yeah, he needs the damage. 15 damage here to Min. Down to 35. $13. Down to 2,200. And then an 11. Yeah, 2,200. We were like 1 resonator short of being able to push lethal if we flipped the Almerius. Although that's not entirely true. We could flip the Almerius in response, pump it. If we could hit a different stone, that would have been great. Oh, we're just passing there. Okay. Interesting choice. I imagine we probably have Lumias on the side of Neo. This is Min's second to last turn. Seven cards. 6 cards in hand for Min. Min can gain a bunch of life here. He does have a heart-to-heart result. We can get a healing robot and heal back up. We also know that Neo is also playing Command of Duet of Light and Lumias. Trying to play the Maribel. We just cancel that, right? Like if we have access to a cancel, we just cancel it. Yeah, that's just lethal. Doesn't heart to heart only cost 1, or Maribel only cost 1, or does she cost 2? Let me see here. Whoop. No, she does cost 2. Yep. Logan, the untap of 6 stage. What do you mean? He cast nothing. Logan, he had full will available. We have drain. Yeah, so we can gain some life back. Yep. 13, 15. Oh, that's true. He could have just. I mean, he can just untap the Almerius again. Yeah, I think at this point, Logan, we just untaps the Almerius that's already untapped. You just untap something that's not rested. Just trying to gain life here and kill the Prisia. So up to 38 life. Yeah, could we just Judgment Almerius and then board pump? Yeah, the Gezel. So I just want to confirm. Min, are you conceding? Okay, Min is conceding. Okay, got it. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Go ahead and report. Thank you very so much. Neo, you'll be back. Neo, you'll be back. You'll be back against Victoria here in just a minute. So, yep. So go ahead and have you guys both drop out. Yep. So, You're absolutely right, Logan, and I'll point that out to Neo real quick. Is that he needs to always remember to actually be taking the action to do it. You can technically untap something that's already untapped, so he just didn't get the value off of it. It's a mandatory resolution. It's part of the resolution of the effect. So it is what it is. So if anything, he just missed an opportunity. He just missed value generation, but it's part of the resolution of his last lecture, so it would have had to have happened. So yeah, we're going into top 4 next, which will be Neo versus Victoria. So another Violet, but I think this one might go a little bit faster. I think Tori is significantly more favored in this, especially considering the fact that Neo's list is not running nearly as many Welsers in the main and everything else. So it's a little bit slower. I'm going to go ahead and see how we're doing here. We're going to jump right into top 4 real quick. Should be exciting. So we have 2 Feethmooge and 2 Violets in the top. And we should, after the conclusion of this, I do believe that Kieran will be conceding to Cal potentially. I think that's what they said before. So Cal will be in the finals regardless. So we'll be able to quickly jump in from top 4 into the finals pretty quick. So that'll be nice. Getting here things. So we'll be on a short break, and we'll be back for our next round. Give me 1 second. So we are getting ready here for we're resolving mulligans here for cuts. And we're going to be jumping in. Victoria is our first seed, so she will get to choose to go second as wanted. So they're going to go ahead and resolve mulligans. We're going to resolve mulligans, and then we'll start their 60-minute timer, and we'll get right into it. This Violet list from Victoria is only playing a single copy of Tiny Violet. And it's also, we didn't see a single Tiny Violet resolved by Minha either. Didn't even cast it. Okay, you guys both ready? Welcome to top 4. You have an hour on the clock. You may begin. This is top 4, Rustin. Just Callstone, Bradstone, pass turn. Certainly giving Victoria a nice little opening there. Especially having, if we hit a 6-stage stone here, we do. There's a very real possibility that this game is over. This exact turn. It really comes down to how much of an aggressive hand we saw off of if this heart-to-heart talk resolves, and how much of an aggressive hand we got off of the mulligans for a potential flip for this 6-stage stone. We do know that Neil's only running 2 Welsers, so potentially a Melfi. Yeah, his last lecture doesn't feel super great when he has the coin. Otherwise, he would have to be tap out Melfi into full cancel. No, Heart Dart's going to resolve. Eterna wins? Oh, Everfrost to draw a card. So we're not flipping this turn. So the thing about Victoria's list is she's running a super heavy super heavy add-on package. Oh, a turbulence in response to the Melfi's enter effect. Wow, okay. So we're going to deal 1,000 damage here. We're going to wipe the board, and we're going to silence Neo for the turn. So he's going to get to produce the will, but he's not going to get anything off of it. And he's going to lose the Melfi here. Pretty big play. So at that point in time, all he's going to be able to do is Callstone pass, which makes that Melfi feel really suboptimal. Can't play any can't play any Precious Big Shows this turn. Wow, really strong decision play there from Violet. Sorry, say that again? So we're getting started here in the finals. These guys did play in Swiss. Victoria did beat Cal, so this is potentially very quick. Getting 3 minutes to check. So they have their time to look at deck lists, making sure they're fully ready to go. So we're jumping in here. Fees Moon versus Violet. So I do want to talk about Victoria's list here because I think it's very interesting. Let's talk about here. So looking at Victoria's list, So we've got 4 Mariabella, 1 Tiny Violet, 4 Baja, 4 Turbulence, 4 Brave Force, 4 Everfrost, 4 Wind, 3 Aegis, 3 Loveliness, 2 Prominence, 3 Gradius with 2 Void, 1 Robot, and 1 Height Healing Robot. We have a total of, let's see, 10 Resonators in the entire deck. Everything else is an Atom. So it's 30 Atoms and 10 other cards. The idea here being with this list is that it is the idea of trying to go under the Feeth Mooge rather than go over the Feeth Mooge. And then also playing Battle Comes to an End in the sideboard. So it's purely to just try to go faster than the Feeth Mooge deck, which the Feeth Mooge deck arguably has problems with. And also the idea of playing such a heavy Atom package means that Violet gets to just do a lot of stuff on flip as well, which is, as we saw before, is something that the Feeth Mooge deck, unless they play right off the bat a Flames in the Outer World, you just struggle with intensely. And then looking at Cal's list real quick. In the main board, he's playing the Dolly package. So a couple of Dark Alice's Smiles, a couple of Raisin Revive, which is a very, very interesting tech card, but not a single copy of Satan. No Flames of the Outer World in the main deck for Cal, so a lot of safety there. We do have the 2 Lumias, though. The full package of Welsers, full package of Welsers. Couple of Pulsing Thunders to be able to board wipe. So that is a way to be able to destroy it and get rid of the Eternal, because we have the Dollies. It does have the Valentina. That's not going to do much here. Raisin Revive can get us some value there. Lot of potential openings for the going super fast version that we see from Victoria, especially since she gets to go on the draw. They're going to be resolving mulligans here, and then we're going to move into game 1. They have 90 minutes. The Honorable Charlie being our judge for today. So let's see how this goes. And here we go. The game has begun. Six Sage Stone here, untapping the Mooge Dart. And a pass. Makes a lot of sense. Similar start we saw before, based on what we see in the opener here from Tori, there's very real opportunity. We just like push the lethal here. Heart to Heart coming down. No Atom first, so no Eternal Wind. Do we have the Welser feels bad though, because the Welser feels bad for the same reason as before, right? Is that it just gets bounced back to hand. Number 13. Oh, green. Oh, green, white, draw a card. Number 13. Yep. So we lose the Heart to Heart. Do we have a second one in hand for the Energize? Oh, no, we're just going to see a pass. It's not a bad way to have to like bait out something from Cal here in the early game, forcing him to use one of those number 13s early on a card just like Heart to Heart. Also uses up one of his feasting taps, so it prevents him from being able to do stuff during the upkeep to set up things like Big Show for later. Calls with feasting and misses the 6th stage stone. Swings in for 2. Goes down to 38. Ooh, not floating any will off the 6th stage stone. But we have the Violet to be able to bend it that way if we need to. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Doing a little bit of digging here, hopefully discarding an Eternal Wind to be able to recover a stone. Oh, nope, Everfrost, more draw power. Nothing wrong with that. And just a pass there. Anything before recovery from Cal? We're going to use Mood Start here. More cycling. Big Show before recovery here. But we can only cast it once. Because we didn't float the green will. Yeah. Probably should have floated the green will before so we could at least get the second cast of Big Show. Cost stone was Mood Start. We do hit the 6th stage stone. Probably going to recover Mood Start. Yep, so we get access to that cycling for later. Scorn. Oh, it is a Scorn of Dark Alice. Okay. And 2 Bahamut's. That's what you have to take there. That's a whole grip of atoms. Brave first. So a full grip of atoms. Not at 4 unique though, or 5 unique. We're at 4. Just passing the turn there. Gonna use Violet. We're gonna get to use that Everfrost. Draw some more cards here. Oh. Okay. Going in for the aggressive play. There's a very real world where we're just going to go ahead and Judgment this turn. Based on what she drew. Especially if she saw a 3rd Brave Force. Or a 2nd Brave Force. Because we have the will to be able to do discard stuff and play Bahamut this turn, potentially. Which is what I know that she has done a couple of times in this event. Comes down to if she wants to take a risk to call stone or not. Yep, we're going in for the aggressive Judgment from Violet. Makes a lot of sense. Yep. Okay, so we're sitting at 8, 16 damage coming in with the Violet. We know that there are Lumias. As a reminder, please note that you have to choose what Violet gains on resolution of her effect, not when discarding. It's all good. So you'll resolve the Everfrost, and then you'll get to pick what Violet has if Cal has no responses. Yeah. So it's just a sequencing thing. Yep. And now you would pick what she gets. So if you're choosing the +2/+2, you pick it now. Yep. Swinging for 18. Sequencing. I have to respect the integrity. Cal, don't judge me. Now swinging for 20. No target for Aegis, so it just whiffs because she hasn't attacked yet. Up to 22. So swinging for 22. Can she find another 14 damage? Swinging for 22 damage here. Swinging in for 22. Interesting. Goes down to 14. Oh, no. Figuring out whether or not we're doing anything before damage, but after declaration of no blocks. Do we have another Brave Force here? Because the risk here is that if we, the risk here is Lumia, right? If we don't kill him in one shot, he's just going to heal it back, most likely, with Lumia. Go up to 24. Up to 26. Do we have another Brave Force? Puts us at 26, goes down to 10. The only thing I think is here is maybe an Atomic Turbulence. We need one Atom to see if there's a Lumia here. Because if the Lumia isn't here, then we're in trouble. Because suddenly we can't gain that life back easily, and we don't have a lot of ways to gain life back for Cal. Well, we're just moving. Okay, so now Lumia is significantly... So didn't see the Lumia there. Okay. But we're in Cal's turn, so that's what feels super weird here. If Cal... The problem here is if Cal spends that last will... If there's a Atomic Turbulence... Yeah, we're going to see an Atomic Turbulence for a grand. I think. Yep. And that will be game 2. I think Cal forgot that she had Energize. Yeah. So moving into game 2, the turbulence there. So going into the sideboard, we do not appear to have an Almerius in the sideboard for Cal. We're going to be stuck on Feith Mooge. The Flames of the Outer World most certainly will be coming in. The Witches probably don't come in. The Respect for Ragnarok doesn't come in from Cal. The Lightning Rod Raid, maybe, but definitely the Flames of the Outer World. If he's playing another copy of Lumia, maybe Duet of Lights potentially come in as well. But we are moving into game 2. Victoria using that Energize, getting him down to exactly that damage for the Turbulence, and then just capitalizing on the tap out from Cal to get that last 1,000 damage. Yep, I imagine that's the Flames and the Duet of Lights for Cal. For Tori, trying to look at what Tori's might be for 4 out, 4 in. 2 stones, so I imagine it's the Scorched Bales and the Hearth Core come in. Oh, she's got 3 Scorched Bales and a Hearth Core. And then the 3 battle comes to an end, and the Academy Guard. Mulligans here. Mulligan 4 from Tori, first mulligan of 2 from Cal. I'm wondering if there was a Lumia and he just thought not to use it. Maybe because he wasn't respecting the Energize. Cal did say that he lost track of the Energize, and so that's a little bit of a misplay. First turn for Tori. Do we hit a 6 Sage Stone off the top? Do we have an Eternal Wind? Oh, just a pass. Nothing on turn 1. Interesting. No Heart to Heart, no Wind. Makes sense if you can't resolve it to save it for potentially an Aegis, especially if Cal decides to go a little bit proactive and greedy. So let's hit the 6 Sage Stone. Do some cycling here. We're going to see the Scorn. Is it going to hit anything is the question. Cal does not have an invite already this season. Nope. Whoa. Like Jan's gonna come in. Last lecture. Probably just stop cycling here. It's a good play from Cal. It does tap him out, though, which gives Tori potentially a lot of just burst room here. And 2 guards. So 2 guards came in. So we're going to take the Academy Guard. Not taking the Baja is an interesting decision there. They do have an hour and 13 minutes left on round. You can't quite see it on the timer here. Oh, did not float any any color. But we can use... Oh, we do have the heart to heart, so that's going to at least get to resolve. To resolve Violet for free. I think we probably just get rid of the Academy Guard at this point because we don't have the ability to cast it, and we're getting into a turn where Cal's probably going to combo off anyway. At least if I was in this position, that's probably what I would be doing, just to keep my hand as full as possible. Unless I have an Everfrost. Obviously, if it's an Everfrost, discard that. What do we discard here? Oh, okay, we are going to discard a Loveliness. So take 4 damage. And then a pass from Tori. So a little bit of a slower start for Victoria, a little bit of a hand disruption start for Cal, which is pretty good. He's certainly in a position to be able to play permissions. The trick here being the permissions take on the deck, like we said before, has a natural resistance to the Violet flip. That being said, that's not the stone we wanted to see. We wanted to see some kind of black source so that we could potentially play into... oh, Lightning Rod Mermaid. Okay. So this is an interesting card because it can steal a Brave Force unless you have like a Gradius first. Use Violet Effect at the end step for more sculpting here. We do have access to Melfi. We do have access to Last Lecture. Yep, and there goes the Lycan card, kind of like I thought we were going to see. There... Going to see a Turbulence. For 3. We are going to try to discard for 3. Has to target Mermaid. Mermaid will get Barrier. So the Mermaid will survive, but it steals the Barrier for the turn, burns Cal for 1,000, and prevents Cal from being able to play any cards this turn. Melfi's going to come into play here. Probably going to do green-white, and we're going to cancel that with a... And then, yep, counter the Turbulence. But the thing is, this still technically takes the Barrier away because it has been targeted. But now she has a free turn to... But we have... That's actually just game, I think. She can banish it. has 5 unique, and she can just play the Baja that didn't get stolen earlier with the Scorn. Yep, that's Baja for lethal. So that will be lethal. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Victoria, I'll go ahead and have you. Victoria, I'll have you go ahead and or Charlie, I'll let you go ahead and report. And then Victoria, if you want to join me over at table 2, please. And get your camera into a position of being able to see your face. So there you have it. Victoria in a winning it in 2. 2-0 there. The playthroughs with the Bahamut did make me a little confused as to why we didn't do the Scorn for the Baja rather than the Lycaons. Leaving the Baja just seemed a little bit counterproductive, but the problem was there too is even in the cancel, like you had to cancel there because she found the turbulence. Maybe the thought was because she didn't have the turbulence, it was safe to not take the Baja. But here comes Tori. We're going to go ahead and get her on screen here to see our champion. Hello. Yeah, you did. You had that confidence. Welcome, welcome. Everybody in the chat is cheering you on. Congratulations on your GP win. Yeah, you did very, very well today. With a GP win, the first, as far as I am aware, the first ever female to win a GP in Force of Will's history. So congratulations, you have that honor. Everyone in the chat is cheering you on. So I do want to talk about, I know that you have been playtesting a bunch with Brandon Bremont. And he was ranting and raving to me about this deck. I would say that it's just all gas, no brakes. Yeah. Oh, I'm realizing that they can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Now they can hear you. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Fixed it. Yeah, so like I said, to the chat, this is all gas, no brakes, the Violet deck. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what kind of went into that?
Take a picture with my Violet, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So this was pretty much the Turbo Violet deck.
Yeah.
I really do think that cutting out the tiny violets was a good choice. It just allowed to get so many more different atoms just that much faster, you know. Instead of drawing a tiny violet, you're drawing, you know, a copy of Dark Prominence that you would have only run one of, or, you know, I run 2 copies of Void, or second copy of Void, you know?
Yeah.
And
30 atoms and 10 other cards.
Yes. That is the goal here. I mean, like, pitching the Voids are fine, even if they're not targeting anything, just so you have the 5.
Yeah, you can just target your opponent's graveyard even if there's nothing in it. The idea being in looking at the list, being
to minimize the amount of atoms that need to have targets.
Yeah, that, and also just the idea of you're just trying to go, like, when we saw from last event at Caseyville, right, we saw that the Violet decks that people brought that we thought were going to be the ones were trying to, like, play a lot heavier discard package and play later than Thief Mooge, right? Disruption to Thief Mooge and then find your lethal. Whereas you guys seem to take the different approach of let's just abandon consideration of what Thief Mooge is doing and just go faster than them.
Pretty much.
To get under it.
It is, like, I think it was you who said the other day, you could either go under or over, and go under and shoot them. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I do think that probably, oh my goodness, Academy Guard Alekion, what an insane card.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about, you and I joked about how after this tournament, this version of Violet probably isn't going to get there anymore because of the introduction of things like Belial, just like stuff that you actually do have to play around, and like this version of Violet is kind of the most disrespectful in terms of just not
these new cards that make one cost actually unplayable.
Yeah. So let's talk about your Swiss, right? Because you were first seed at the end of Swiss. So round 1, what did you play against?
Round 1, oh my goodness. Did I play again? Round 1, I think, was a Violet Mirror.
Violet Mirror?
Yeah.
And how does that go for this version of the deck?
This version of the deck, I think, really handles the Violet Mirror well because, the first game, you can either, try and cancel all their stuff and turbo flip and Baja. But if you don't, the sideboard's actually insane against it. The 3 battle comes to an end, and then I'm siding into 4 Scorched Bales and taking out the 2 Hearth's Core and 1 of the Atom Stones for the Scorched Bales.
Sure.
And then putting in the 3 battle comes to an end. Just because when you get rid of their Bajas, they 100% have to win. They 100% have to win by flipping their ruler and doing J ruler beats, which can be, I don't want to say it's a bit of a struggle, but when you're playing against another Violet, it's just that much faster than you are.
Yeah, sure. That makes a lot of sense.
I also had 2 Satan/Flame and 2 Void. I think I sided into 1 more of the Void and 1 of the Satan, but if you get them with Battle Comes to an End, the Void doesn't really matter because they can't really do anything with their discarded atoms.
Sure. And so then your round 2, what did you play against in round 2?
Oh my goodness. That one 100% was the Violet Mirror against the guy from Hong Kong.
Okay.
That game was a struggle. Oh, actually, you know what? My round 1 was Cal, my round 2 was him, my round 3 was Steven, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then 4 was Kyron. Okay, sorry. Round 1 was Cal, and it pretty much went the same as the game you just saw. Just trying to go a bit faster than the Lycion deck. Oh my goodness. My match 2 was very stressful. That was probably the most stressful game for the entire match, actually. He was a very good player. That one, I went 2-1, and both of those games were pretty long.
Slugfests? Yeah.
Yes, essentially. It was someone got Baja on board, someone discarded an atom, destroyed the Baja, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So I do want to ask.
There's my winner.
Hello.
Hey, it's Prix.
He was forced to leave and go to Starbucks because
you're getting it.
I love you so much. Good job. I'm so proud of you.
So I do want to ask this question, and Bremont, I guess you can answer too, because you also helped design the deck. What moving into next tournament format, moving into next meta, in your opinion, what does Violet have to do different to as with this new stuff that's being introduced? Like, if you have a thought. Like, do you think that it's to go back into trying to go into the late game? Do you think it's turning into more of a burn deck? I'd just be interested to hear your thoughts.
I don't know. So the thing is, as we said the other day, there are going to be 25 new ruler combinations. Most of making the 1-drops in this deck actually unplayable.
I'm joining this interview.
You're joining this interview?
I did ask you.
Yeah, you were asked.
What was I asked?
How
I turn off the stream in my pocket.
How do you think Violet will face after this next set?
Oh, you're asking like how deep the hole we're gonna dig for her grave is, right? That's what we're going for.
If that's what you think, yeah.
No, it seems pretty okay, but like you'll never beat Belial in a million years, right? That's the joke,
that's what we've expressed. I'm just wondering to know if, as the person who built this version of Violet, if you had the same.
I haven't played it at all, but I read the Belial stuff, and I'm like, you probably can't.
Okay.
I might be wrong. I'd like to.
I mean, like, this would be unplayable. This would be actually unplayable.
Yeah,
like
your whole.
And then the Bajas. There's so many ways to deal with it.
Belial seems really good against
like,
rulers that want to win the game. So
what do you do?
I think
what do you do if your opponent just plays the freaking? You can't win, can't lose.
Cry giant.
You can't win. I don't think there would be another way. I mean, like.
Do you want to get this scream? It's a celebration of how cool you are.
Well, I think that's my last question. So we are actually going to let you guys go to have celebration. I just want to again give a huge congratulations to Victoria for winning the GP and getting your invite to Japan. And we'll see you for
the nerve-wracking thing I have ever done in my life.
Yeah, and we'll see you as part of the stream team in Minnesota, right? You're going to join us as part of the stream team in Minnesota. So we're looking forward to having you sit at the stream table with us.
She's going to go win Minnesota too. Get them back to back to back.
This?
No, not with that. Not with
that. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. And for you guys, the stream, thank you guys so much for being a part of it and enjoying the stream today. I know it was a little bit wonky because of the weirdness of how Top 8 played out, but we're glad to have been here. Huge thanks to Alex from Carta Magica for helping host the event. And until next time, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.